बांग्लादेश एंड श्रीलंका इट इज टुडे इन दिल्ली एंड आज का ये मुकाबला बांग्लादेश के लिए शायद इतना इम्पोर्टेंट ना हो बिकॉज वर्ल्ड कप से ऑलरेडी वो एलिमिनेट हो चुके हैं, बट श्रीलंका के लिए अभी भी कुछ उम्मीदें जारी हैं और उसके लिए आज ये फाइट होती दिख सकती है. बट देयर इज अनदर इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट टू इट कौस्तव, सिंस अभी बात ये चल रही है कि either you are in the semi-final or no, but you should still be fighting for the top 8 spot of the World Cup because then you will be getting into the Champions Trophy next year 2025. एंड श्रीलंका और बांग्लादेश पूरी कोशिश करेंगे कि अगर ये मुकाबले जो उनके बचे हैं वो जीत करके अगर वो टॉप 8 में फिनिश कर पाए, बिकॉज उससे आपके लिए वहां का रास्ता खुल जाएगा. दिस मेक्स इट इंटरेस्टिंग बट एट द सेम टाइम बायलैटरल सीरीज की उतनी इंपॉर्टेंस कम हो जाती है. So before I start off with more and more cricket updates on this match, would you like to give your opinion on this, whether ICC has taken the right call by giving this top 8 spot of the World Cup to the Champions Trophy, or this has to do something with the bilateral as well?
No, it never has been that case. The bilateral series used to come into the picture because I think this has been for a long time now that Champions Trophy is an exclusive tournament altogether. The top 8 teams will play. It's more like before the FIFA World Cup. Often there's a tournament which the host country organizes, and only 8 teams play in that tournament as well, 8 to 12, something like that. So I think this is a very exclusive tournament. Not all the teams, all the participating, all the countries that basically play in the World Cup can play there. It is not something like that. It is something that only the champions can play, so to say. So the top 8 teams of the league table can only play this tournament. So I think this is a good thing because you don't want to have in everywhere. You don't want to have this normal teams, who will not be able to perform at that merit probably. England missing out can be a huge point because England is a top country. We all know that they didn't have a good season, but they still are a top country. They can challenge for the Champions Trophy 2025. But them missing out will be a big thing. So it's just because of them we are all having this conversation. Otherwise, I don't think so we would have even have this conversation.
Right.
Bangladesh, Sri Lanka probably. Both are fighting for a place. Sri Lanka probably more close to getting it done because they are in a good spot right now. But the same thing cannot be said about Bangladesh because they are even below Netherlands, which is a worrying sign, to be very honest. So yes, it is an important game for Bangladesh as well, not just for Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka who are fighting for a spot in the semis. So I'm expecting a good game. But I think the one thing that we should talk about today is the pollution in Delhi. We have been talking about this for a long time now. Sri Lanka have already cancelled one of their training sessions because of the same. And I saw the images of today's morning as well. It's not looking very good. So the players are going to face some kind of a problem. And as soon as the game move on to the evening or towards the night, I think the players will face some problems. So it was a good toss for Bangladesh to win, I guess.
Right, and Bangladesh is opted to bowl first, as rightly mentioned by Kaustav. As coming back to the pollution part, जैसा कि आपने बताया कौस्तव कि ऑलरेडी एक ट्रेनिंग सेशन जो है वो कैंसिल हो चुका था बिकॉज ऑफ दिस पोल्यूशन पार्ट. बट बहुत सारे लोग ये बात नहीं जानते हैं कि दिल्ली में राइट नाउ जो सिनेरियोज चल रहे हैं ये एवरी ईयर एट दिस ईयर इस टाइम पर होता है. रीजन भी वहाँ पे क्रॉप्स जलाए जाते हैं हरियाणा में, जिसकी वजह से जो वहाँ का स्मॉग होता है, फॉग होता है, व्हाटसोएवर इट इज, इट कम्स टू दिल्ली और वहाँ के वेदर का इस तरह की हालत हो जाती है. बट दिस इज डेंजरस टू बी देयर. और ऐसे माहौल में अगर क्रिकेटर्स क्रिकेट खेलेंगे तो डेफिनेटली हो सकता है कि वो उतनी आपको उनका अपना स्टैमिना वहाँ पर दिखाई ना दे. देयर कैन नॉट बी कैन बी मोर इफेक्ट्स टू इट व्हिच आई एम नॉट वेरी श्योर आई नो. But yeah, it would be difficult for them to play this match, and at the same time, it is a very important match for both the teams because the reasons we have right now expressed. But more likely, let me take you to the head-to-head of Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka. So if you talk about the number of matches they have played together, this is 53 matches, and Sri Lanka has been dominating Bangladesh for so many numbers as we can see right now. 9 by Bangladesh, 42 by Sri Lanka. एंड नो रिजल्ट अभी तक रहा है 2 मुकाबले का। और अगर हम बात करें वही पिच रिपोर्ट की, Delhi has been a belter of a pitch. अगर इनकी पिच रिपोर्ट की बात करें तो it is typically batsman friendly, featuring smaller boundaries and a fast outfield. Pacers may find assistance towards the latter stage of the match in 30 games played at the venue. Pacers have claimed 249 wickets, while spin bowlers have accounted for 144 wickets. Teams batting first have emerged victorious on 15 occasions, while teams batting second have won 14 matches. One game has ended with no result. तो दिल्ली की पिच को देखते हुए, वहां के माहौल को देखते हुए कौस्तव, आपको क्या लगता है कि किस टीम के पास ज्यादा बड़े चांसेस है टू विन दिस मैच इफ वी गो बाय द पिच रिपोर्ट एज वेल? कौन सी टीम आपको ज्यादा दिखाई पड़ती है लाइक टू विन द मैच टुडे?
I think Sri Lanka थोड़ा advantage पे है just because their batters are in really good form at the moment. We know what happened in the last match against India. They were bundled out for 55 runs. But I think if we keep that aside and if Sri Lanka thinks it's just one day, it doesn't matter a lot. If they can keep that aside and they're high in confidence, I think Sri Lankan batters are in good form and they can, play some good cricket in Delhi because, like you rightly pointed out, the boundaries are really small. The ball will nicely come to the bat. Players like Kushal Mendis, who was doing well right now, is in out of form. But players like Sadira Samarawickrama, I think he's a really good player. He's doing really well at the moment. So I think, and Pathum Nisanka is also playing really well in the opening spot. So I think they have the right players who can play well. In comparison to Bangladesh, the top order is not firing. Shakib, we all know Shakib is a big match player, but then again, in this World Cup, he's coming to bat at number 5, number 6, which is not his right position. In the last match or the match before that, Shakib was even asked, "Why are you batting at number 5, number 6, when you have done your bit in at number 3 in the 2019 World Cup, where you even found success?" But Shakib said, "Team dynamics" or something like that. But I think that is something that the team management really needs to work on because Shakib is not a player that will score runs at number 5, number 6. His position is number 3 or number 4 at max. So that is one concern for Bangladesh. And other than Mahmudullah, I don't think so anyone is scoring runs at the moment. So batting wise, I think Sri Lanka are far ahead. Same will come for the bowling as well because Bangladesh bowlers are not being able to take wickets. While on the other hand, we can see Dilshan Madhushanka is one of the leading wicket takers, if not the leading wicket taker at the tournament. He even in the last match against quality batting lineup of India, he picked up a fifer. So he's in really good form. So yeah, it will be challenging for Bangladesh at the I think because Sri Lanka are more or less much ahead of them.
Right. So you are like backing Sri Lanka in today's match?
I believe so because again the strength the Sri Lanka possesses right now is huge. It's just that their confidence might be low. That is one thing that we need to see. In the last match, they were humiliated badly. So I hope they keep that aside and think about a semi-final spot and challenge Bangladesh really well. If they can do that, I think Sri Lanka can easily take this game away.
Okay, let me tell you some changes from both the teams. So Bangladesh have announced that Mustafiz is not fit enough and Tanzim Saqib comes in his place. And if we talk about Sri Lanka, then that is Kusal Pereira and Dhananjay comes in and Karunaratne and Hemanta are out. So there are some changes from both the teams, and we all know like how Bangladesh and Sri Lanka have been, I would say, haunted by the injury scar because specifically Sri Lanka, if we talk about from the very starting till right, if we talk like till this time of the tournament, they have had an even injury of their own captain, Rasul Shanaka, who was the regular captain for Sri Lanka. And he has even got the injury and whatnot. Like you just name the players, whoever have done good for the team, they all are injured right now. And still Sri Lanka is managing their game. Even Angelo Matthews is back because of that. And he has been so experienced player. And then he is back to play the matches for Sri Lanka. And still like they're somehow like working on their matches and trying to win it every time. But there is something like which we were talking about, the intent which comes and play the role where you win matches, and that's make the difference. But if you talk about the history of both Sri Lanka and Bangladesh matches, so with Sri Lanka, if we talk, they have played 7 matches so far. They have won only 2 matches, 5 matches they have lost, and 4 points they have right now in their account. So starting with, they started off with 3 back-to-back losses, then 2 matches they won against Netherlands and England, then 2 more matches they have lost against Afghanistan and India. Now they are playing Bangladesh and New Zealand is their last shot in this tournament. Now if I talk about Bangladesh, so unki timeline aisi rahi hai, 7 matches they have played, only 1 game they have managed to win. 2 points for which they have got, and 6 matches they have lost. In which against Afghanistan was the only match which Bangladesh have won. Other than all 6 matches against England, New Zealand, India, South Africa, even Netherlands and Pakistan, they have lost the match. Now, since we were talking about this, the last, the lower end of the points table, Kaustav. So I can see like already Bangladesh and England are out of the tournament. We are left with Netherlands, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, and Pakistan at the middle of it. So which team do you think has a better chance to come up the order and take the 4th position, New Zealand included in this?
Yeah, I think New Zealand are a bit ahead at the moment just because their net run rate is very superior, much superior. Even if New Zealand lose their final game and Pakistan win, Pakistan need to beat the team, I don't remember which one, by a heavy margin. So it can get difficult because New Zealand's net run rate is currently last 300 ahead of Pakistan. So, but yeah, even if New Zealand lose, they will be ahead of any other team at the moment, other than Afghanistan. Of course, if Afghanistan win their respective 2 matches, then they will have 12 points and they will easily qualify. But Afghanistan's next matches are against Australia one, and probably the second one is against South Africa. So the games are not going to be any easy for Afghanistan. But you never know. You can't bet against Afghanistan because the kind of cricket they're playing. You can't bet against the spinners, I would say. Rashid Khan, Mujib, and then they have Noor Ahmed. So it is going to be a challenging affair for them, I would say, if not impossible. But right now, you can't bet against New Zealand, who will play Sri Lanka in the next match. I just don't think Sri Lanka have enough to beat this New Zealand side because we have seen players like Rachin Ravindra, Kane Williamson in the last match play really well. Sandner is doing really well. So it can get a bit difficult for Sri Lanka to beat New Zealand. But then again, you just never know what happens in cricket.
Right.
Even if New Zealand loses, like I rightly pointed out, even if New Zealand lose, their net run rate is not going to. Their net run rate may even help them to get into the semis because they are far ahead of Pakistan.
Right.
So yeah, at this moment, I feel New Zealand can even back the number 4 place and play India probably.
So you are saying India, South Africa, which have already qualified for the semi-final. The next 2 would be Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, Australia is more or less there. With 10 points, Australia is one. Their 1 foot is on the semi spot. The 4th team can definitely be New Zealand.
So let me take you back to the players to watch out for Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. Now from Bangladesh, I have got Liton Das. He has been known for doing the miracles, pulling off the miracles for Bangladesh, and even in today's match as well, Liton Das has been the big player, and he definitely has the skill to do it again for Bangladesh. He has played 84 matches, 2,475 runs, 32.56 average, 86.69 strike rate, 12 50s, 500s, 176 being his highest score. Now, if you talk about the Sri Lankan player who can be the player to watch out, then that is going to be Pathum Nissanka. 47 matches he has played, 1,685 runs he has scored, 39.18 average, 84.41 strike rate, 1350s, 300s, 137 being his highest. Now, other than these 2, Costa, which 2 other players from the team you think can be the player to watch out for?
From Sri Lanka, Sadira Samaravikrama, he's coming at number 4. He's doing his bit, I think, scoring a lot of runs, important runs for Sri Lanka because the top order, Pathum Nissanka wasn't playing really well in the initial matches. Kushal Pereira was batting alongside him. He couldn't perform, so he got dropped. Number 3, Kushal Mendis is not in good form at the moment, but he's a good player, but he's not going. He's going through a lean patch at the moment. So Sadira Vikrama, I think, has that important role in the team to take that score from 100 to 250, 260, somewhere like that. In transaction, transition from 10th over to 40th over. I think, he's doing his bit. I think he's a really good player. He's doing his bit. He did it in the Asia Cup as well. Now he's doing it in the World Cup. Should give him a lot of confidence going ahead. He's one player that I'll definitely watch out for in this match. From Bangladesh, you have to look at Shakib because he's a match winner. He's not batting at the right position, I believe, but with the ball, with the bat, with the field, he's the right man to lead Bangladesh. We all know that. So yeah, these are the 2 players that can make a difference.
चलिए, आप लोग भी कमेंट सेक्शन में आपकी अपनी बेट हमें बताइए कि कौन से ऐसे प्लेयर्स हैं जिनको आज आप देख रहे हैं एज प्लेयर टू वॉच आउट फ्रॉम बोथ द टीम्स। तब तक मैं आपको ले चलती हूँ सोशल ट्रैकर की तरफ कि आज के वैसे कौन से ट्वीट्स हैं जो कि हो रहे हैं वायरल। So let me take you to the very first tweet. Arun Jaitley Stadium today. We can see it is like the clear green carpet at the ground, but sky obviously इतना clear नहीं है in comparison to what we used to expect from Delhi. मुकाबला आज थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो सकता है, but battle for Nagin dance, it has been a rivalry which has been there for so many, like it's a recent rivalry with the Nagin dance thing, but अब वो हो नहीं रहा। हमने एशिया कप में भी देखा था कॉस्ट ऑफ दिस नागिन डांस, यू वर लाइक एक्सपेक्टिंग कि कुछ देखने को मिलेगा, बट ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं। इज इट लाइक दे आर डन विद दिस और यू आर नॉट गोना सी इट एनीमोर?
आई थिंक कोई अगर क्रंच गेम आ गया फिर हम लोग देख सकते हैं कि ऐसा कुछ चीज, अभी कोई क्रंच मुकाबला इन दोनों के बीच हो भी नहीं रहा। अगर ये एक मैच होता कि दोनों में से जो जीतेगा नंबर 4 पे आ जाएगा, तो आई थिंक उस टाइम अगर हम लोग देख सकते थे कि बहुत दोनों टीम बहुत अग्रेसिव खेलता, लेकिन अभी कुछ ऐसा सिचुएशन है नहीं, तो आई थिंक सेलिब्रेशन भी थोड़ा कम हो गया है। लेकिन आई थिंक जब भी नेक्स्ट कोई इम्पोर्टेंट मैच खेलेगा, देन आई थिंक इट विल कम बैक।
चलिए, हम वेट करेंगे ऐसी करंट सिचुएशन का ताकि हमें ये राइवलरी देखने को मिले। वी डोंट वांट दिस टू डाई, वी वांट दिस टू बी अलाइव और हमें एंटरटेन करती रहे। दिस इज द नेक्स्ट ट्वीट फ्रॉम आवर सेशन। दिल्ली's poor air quality forced the ICC to cancel Bangladesh and Sri Lanka match. Breaking, no, this is not gonna happen. This is something which people are just keeping it running around कि क्या होने वाला है वहाँ पर और ऐसा हो रहा है कि कैंसिल हो रहा है। Because a lot of people are trying to even tweet, जैसे कि लास्ट टाइम आई रिमेम्बर जब बांग्लादेश में पाकिस्तान की टीम भी आई थी, तो उस टाइम पर ये न्यूज हो रही थी कि पाकिस्तान टीम इज अनसेफ देयर इन बैंगलोर एंड like security tight nahi hai or the city is not safe enough, but just please don't do that. This is not something which is going to happen, or it's perfectly safe. And if we talk about the air quality, yes, it is not at a good level, but not at that level ki ICC ko match cancel karna pade. But yeah, so match is perfectly going to happen. Toss ho chuka hai already, baki match ki updates aapko dete rahenge. Ek aur tweet bacha hai, main aapko wo bhi dikha deti hu aaj ke is din ka. Players coming on field in Delhi to play cricket, and we can see right now the players covered. People covered with the mask and everything. It feels like COVID again, but no, this is something which is difficult. But ठीक है, देखते हैं आज का मुकाबला कितना टफ रहता है दोनों ही टीम्स के लिए, और जिस तरीके की ये टीम मुकाबला रहेगा उस पर डिपेंड करेगा ये टूर्नामेंट में कैसा सर्वाइवल रहने वाला है श्रीलंका का, और बांग्लादेश कहाँ एंड अप करेगी इस टूर्नामेंट में। अभी फिलहाल आई थिंक वी हैव कवर्ड ईच एंड एवरीथिंग, बट जो कुछ भी रह गया होगा आपको लाइव ब्लॉगिंग करते हुए हमारे क्रिकट्रैकर वेबसाइट पर कौस्तुभ सिंह गुप्ता वापस देंगे, जो आपको देंगे सारी अपडेट्स। प्लस आप सोशल मीडिया आकर के हमें फॉलो कर सकते हैं टू गेट टू सी ऑल द रील्स एंड वीडियोस रिगार्डिंग क्रिकेट, जहां से आपको बहुत ही इजी इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलेगी व्हाटएवर यू वांट। टेलीग्राम चैनल जरूर चेक कीजिएगा टू गेट ईच एंड एवरी अपडेट। तब तक मैं चलती हूँ, हम लोग फिर लौटेंगे क्रिकट्रैकर पर लेकर ईपीएल।